movie that opened against Star Wars.
Oh, that's probably why I haven't seen it.
Oh, yeah, so I don't care. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to promote it on the pod. But Sorcerer Freakin' directed it. Roy Scheider, who had a killer late 70s, 80s. Just crushed it. But it's a remake of Wages of Fear. Sorry if you already know this. I apologize, Adam. I'm not trying to.
Not at all.
I'm not trying to
movie. We're here for the listeners.
I'm not trying to movie explain to you. But so this movie, it's about these 3 dirtbags who have to take these old, dirty trucks full of nitroglycerin through the jungle to blow up a fire that had started at one of the oil rigs that was in the mountains. And I don't know how I feel like everyone on Sorcerer must have gotten malaria, because there's just scenes where Scheider's in dirty puddles. I mean, it was Revenant before Revenant, but in the movie they built a bridge for $1 million in '76. The river below it dried up, so then they had to go to Mexico and they built another bridge, and the water was almost drying up there, so they had to shoot really quick. So they had to spend $2 million in 1976. Holy crap! Did you hear that lightning?
I did, and that sounds so cool. I want to be in that storm.
Yeah, it's pretty. But man, I'm talking about Sorcerer and Rain coming down. If you watch the scene,
yeah, this is your doing. This is a rain dance of sorts.
I brought it with me, but it just I love a good bridge, and I felt the practical effects of it. They built that bridge. They dangled it. They had stuntmen.
Yeah, it looked real.
And I guess that's why Roger Ebert said it's one of the most beautiful movies he'd seen in a long time.
That was a weird quote, and I feel like he's awfully his memory is conveniently limited, I think, in times when he mentions stuff like that, being as hyperbolic as it was. But it is a nice scene, and I definitely agree with that. I think that scene, and there are parts in the cave where he's with his servant, especially Billy Zane, where I couldn't help but think he would have made a fine Batman in another life. He's got the chin for it. He's got the voice kind of for it. And I do think that he takes a little bit of inspiration from some Adam West in his mannerisms from time to time. He's very, he's got a lot of discipline. He has values. He's a hero. But, he's kind of cheeky, right, when he trades barbs with, Diana or Catherine Zeta-Jones' character.
Now, what does the Phantom do?
That's easy. The Phantom goes around giving people welts in the face, and now you have all these guys walking around with imprints of his pewter skull ring on their faces to say, "Hi, I've been punched by the Phantom," and live to tell about it. So when they talk about the ghost who walks, it's like, yeah, that's what this is from.
I mean, all right, I have a question. You're a henchman and you have that mark. Does that mean you're a wimp, or does that mean you're tough?
No, I think if you live to tell about it, you're a tall glass of water. I would say that gets you credits. Like if you're a thug, right, you're gonna get punched. That's inevitable. We know this. You get punched with that pewter ring on. That's that true.
You're into some next level thuggery. You're John Cena levels of thug-onomics.
Yes.
If you get punched by the Phantom.
It makes me wonder how this movie, just this idea of a charming man from the jungle who wears a purple unitard, had Bruce Campbell won the role, because he was in contention for it. And I'm not sure that it would have been as sincere, because Bruce is wonderful.
He'd have been winking at the camera.
It's just a wink fest. Yeah, I would have thought that's how it would go down. So I do really like Billy in this, and it is kind of wild that he went directly from this. I don't know when this was filmed in relation to Titanic, because Titanic was its own incredible endeavor, but you're going from this very charming, likable character to somebody who is the absolute opposite, right? Just a conniving, greedy, terrible man.
Yeah, he went back to the water like on Dead Calm.
Yeah.
Titanic. And if Demon Knight was 95.
Yeah, Billy was in those 3 years, man. He really rocked it.
Yeah, and we have a Demon Knight podcast.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Last week. So this is coming out after that one. Mm-hmm. So now I'm going full Billy.
Does that mean you're going to have to do a Titanic pod?
No, I'm still working on David Arquette right now. We're trying to get we got Ravenous being recorded tomorrow. So that'll be after this episode.
So weird. I just had a conversation today about that movie. That's like, who's talking about Ravenous in 2019?
I have that Blu-ray. There's 3 commentaries. There's a music-only track.
Who made this? Who is this for?
The movie or the Blu-ray?
No, like, the fact that, we're just putting out a Ravenous Blu-ray. Let's put 3 commentaries on it in case those hardcore fans want to watch the movie 3 times with commentary from 3 different people.
The reason it holds up is it's just a weird little thing. It is a very odd, the score, what Damien Wise from Blur, I think it's just, I think it works and it has a cult audience because it flopped horribly. And it's just a weird little picture. It's just a weird little thing.
Sure.
So, it's a cult classic, much like The Phantom.
Well, one thing that I think maybe this movie has benefited from, and we talked about this a little bit, was just how lean it is. It doesn't have a whole lot of filler, in my opinion, at least. So, I mean, just clocking this, when I started watching it again, just to revisit for the first time, and it had been years. My memory was very faded from this, but, I clocked it. You get the whole origin in under 2 minutes. You get that Kabai Sang killed his father, that he washed ashore an island where a tribe endowed him with a ring by a shaman. There's mysticism involved, and it's all explained, and it goes, all right, Phantom, now we're here, 1938. And then this guy's in the jungle, right? He's got a throne with a cave, and he's got a dog wolf thing named Devil, and a horse who apparently they can talk to each other.
Oh, they chat.
Yeah, they have like full-blown animal communication, interspecies communication.
All right, I gotta ask you, let's just jump in, but there's a scene where Phantom, quote, in air quotes, rescues Christy Swanson, and they take away in a plane, and they left the wolf.
They left the wolf, the worst dog father ever.
And I went, what is this crap? But then the wolf...
everybody reacts that way now.
The wolf runs up to the horse and goes, yo, man, let's go get him. And then so he leaves the dog, but he also is pretty sure the dog's fine.
Oh, right? He's very confident in this dog's abilities, Devil's abilities. Yeah. And I was like, this is somehow not as hilarious or stupid as it sounds when you actually watch this. Because, like, it could easily gone south, right? Any other movie, you'd be like, oh, this is ridiculous, and take you out of it. But, we watch it, and it's like, okay, what's he doing? But it makes kind of sense within the realm, right? The rules established.
Oh, yeah, it makes absolute sense. And I went from being angry to just going, why is this dog left behind? To just watching the dog and the horse roll up and catch him on an airplane. I was... if I had a terrible hand, I was all in. Like, I had a terrible hand, I was still all in. I loved it. I just thought, this is... The dog and horse are rolling together to go save... Like, they were a team. It wasn't...
Oh, totally. And I don't know the horse's name. I know the wolf's name is Devil, but I don't know if he bothered to name the beautiful horse.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just want to know, and this made me think of you, they gotta be pretty fast.
Yeah.
To catch up with that plane. Can you give me a breakdown of, the physics involved with how a dog and a horse managed to do that with a biplane? Because, boy, I'd love to see that data.
And then the other crew caught up with them as well.
Yes.
Ooh. I mean, you know what? I should invest a lot of time doing that. Because I like my data when people just go, why?
Right, and I think this is very firmly in that territory. This fits in your Venn diagram of why would some man do this? Why would they devote their time to this data?
All right, so I'll get a feel for the island. I'll clock how long they are running, and then
maybe get an average speed of a horse at top speed and a wolf dog, and see how that reconciles with the fiction that's being implied here.
Can I tell you something very important? I busted a very popular myth that has been perpetrated by several big-name people writing about Jaws of Revenge.
Okay.
They said that the shark made the swim from Martha's Vineyard to the Bahamas in 2 days. But I tracked it, and I think it's closer to 8. So the shark doesn't swim as fast as everyone thinks. So I busted.
Wait, where was the confusion then? Is it the movie not stipulating the passage of time proper, or what?
No one just thought about it. Because they say 2 days, but they stay around for a while. Then they have the funeral, then they stay away for a while, and then they come back, and then they're there for a couple days, and the shark arrives. So I think people just wanted to be pithy and say 2 days.
Got it.
but it's incorrect.
I just think of the mountain of issues that movie has in terms of logical, natural fallacies that might be lower on the totem pole. You know, apart from a shark roaring and exploding upon impact with a wooden spike. But what do I know?
They have a psychic link. All right, so actually, I'm gonna save that. I might have a future series coming up that we can talk about this movie on. So we'll keep the. If you're curious on this, look out in late August for maybe a new podcast series that I might be putting out.
Look for that.
Look for it. Now, in the beginning chase scene, the truck is driving away. I do like that they have the kid drive across the bridge. I do like that James Remar is looking at the map upside down. That's a very good bit.
Classic bonehead.
Yeah, but I love that. And these criminals I don't really understand because they go from kind of being cheeky with the kid, elbowing him, he wasn't going to hit him, and then they go, let's just kill him.
Yeah, there is a weird non-commitment to making certain characters wholly unlikable or likable. Because you're right, I almost half expected James Remar's character to get back into the car once the kid makes it across the bridge and sort of give him a shuffle on the head or something like attaboy, but it comes just short of that. And yeah, I don't really know what they were going for with that, but it's still memorable, yes.
Yeah, but so they're driving away, right, in the truck, and the Phantom jumps in the air, right? 13 seconds later, he lands on the hood of their vehicle. He doesn't land on top of the truck. He lands directly on top. So what was he doing in the air for those 13 seconds?
I mean, maybe he's swinging on a vine or something. I think he can do that. So we don't really know what his powers are. I think all we know is that the Skulls of Taganda, right, the MacGuffin of this movie, they kind of grant you invincibility or something when they're all put together, but we don't know what his powers are. We just know he's the ghost that walks. And we know his dad got killed, so he ain't invincible. So he's the 21st, excuse me. So apart from being really good at gymnastics and dual-wielding pistols like Lara Croft, I don't really know what he's got going for him, unless he's got a powerful ring. He's got a powerful ring, that's it.
Sidekicks?
Well, yeah, he's a friend to the animals.
Powerful sidekick.
Who can speak to each other. He
can land great punches. I like that that's his power, though. And I like that his dad died because I'm not a good judge of character.
Right.
I love that. The dad admits it. He's like, yeah, I got tricked.
Yeah, talking to your dead dad in your cave in the jungle it's a little odd, but he makes it work. He's endearing and he's got a good head of hair, so we don't really hold it against him or call him out for his psychoses.
And you believe that the dad is talking to him. So it's not like he's not Legion. Has multiple personalities.
Right. Yeah.
I was thinking that James Remar is Alfred Molina's character from Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Or Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Similar.
If that guy lived a lot and just kept moving up.
Yeah, I feel like Remar is a bit more of a brute and a thinker. I feel like Molina's character was way more two-dimensional opportunist.
Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe he learns over the years.
Perhaps. He has time to grow. He isn't speared in a cave.
Treat Williams in this movie is kind of a monster. I mean, he blinds a man. He does some really crappy stuff. Hey, I love when he says we're going to the Devil's Vortex. But
can we talk about that?
The line delivery?
Oh, all of it. Like I think when he went to the director, right, and he said, okay, what's my motivation? He didn't just hear, oh, you're a bad guy. He said, you're a bad guy, but think the Boss Baby, if that was out at the time. You're the Boss Baby and you're 12 years old in a candy store and you're super excited for this candy, but you're going to steal that candy. That's your motivation. So everything he just says, you're right to that point. He's like, we're going to the jungle. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh. It's just this like unbridled enthusiasm for his evil plans. And you're right. That scene where he blinds the guy, it's so classic, and it screwed me up as a kid because all you need is that scene where you see the blades go up first. You know exactly what's going to happen. And you don't even need to see any gore. You don't need to see anything. You just hear the scream and you just, let Treat play it out. And it's just so wonderful. I think it's the best scene in the movie, personally.
Oh, when he gets his eyes?
Yes.
Yeah. And the way he plays them too, because in the prior scene, you had learned that that guy was lying to treat.
Yes.
Oh man. Yeah, that's a brutal, and then you just hear the screaming.
And it's pretty miserable screaming too. It felt like a Spielberg movie, right? Where they don't go over the line with gore, right? There's just enough to go off on to like really unsettle you. Like